Embark on a riveting voyage through the turbulent seas of geopolitical tensions in the South China Sea. Navigating the complex waters of territorial disputes, power dynamics, and international intricacies, we unravel the layers that define this high-stakes drama. In a recent diplomatic exchange, China's foreign minister, engaging in a conversation with the Philippines, acknowledges the pressure in bilateral relations and declares that they are facing major problems. The two countries are at a critical juncture, prompting China to issue a strong warning against misjudgments or collusion with external forces by the Philippines. In 2023, PRC Coast Guard and marine militia vessels interfered with Philippine boats on resupply trips to Sierra Madre. Later in February 2023, a PRC Coast Guard vessel used a military-grade laser to target a Philippine Coast Guard boat, briefly blinding several of the crew. In August, PRC Coast Guard and maritime militia vessels used a water cannon and other measures to block Philippine boats near the shoal. In October, PRC Coast Guard and maritime militia vessels approached and collided with a Philippine Coast Guard vessel and another supply vessel. The incident marked the first time Philippine officials reported their vessels being struck by PRC ships. As we navigate this intricate geopolitical narrative, stay tuned for the unfolding developments in the South China Sea. Will diplomatic efforts prevail, or are we teetering on the precipice of a more profound crisis? The answers lie in the evolving chapters of this maritime saga, where every wave brings forth a new twist in this compelling geopolitical drama. In December 2023, China engaged in serious escalation of hostilities in the South China Sea, as described by the Philippine government. PRC vessels flooded the region around Second Thomas Shoal, causing a collision between a Coast Guard ship and a Philippine boat on a resupply mission. Each side claimed the other had rammed one of their vessels. Since 2012, the PRC has harassed and blocked Philippine fishing boats near Scarborough Shoal, a traditional fishing spot for both countries, among others. In December 2023, the PRC Coast Guard used a water cannon on Philippine vessels, delivering provisions to Filipino fishermen near the shoal, causing engine damage on one of the boats. The U.S. Embassy in Manila said that the U.S. sent approximately $1.14 billion in military equipment, including planes, armored vehicles, and small guns. Between 2015 and 2022, the Philippines received the majority of U.S. military aid in the Indo-Pacific area, including training. The support has mostly focused on improving the Philippines' marine security. Under ADCA, the two countries agreed to strengthen military cooperation and provide rotational access to Philippine military bases. In 2023, the number of bases increased from 5 to 9. The U.S. and Philippines conduct around 20 military exercises and activities each year, including patrols in the South China Sea. Congress may assess how U.S. admission to UNCLOS will affect diplomacy. The U.S. follows UNCLOS regulations on navigation and overflight, which it considers to be consistent with customary international maritime law. Analysts suggest that U.S. admission to UNCLOS would enhance calls for other countries to follow the convention's terms and the 2016 arbitral verdict, which favored the Philippines. For further information, see whether United States should ratify UNCLOS in CRS Report R42784, U.S.-China Strategic Competition in South and East China Seas, Background and Issues for Congress. Shortly after the clash, where the Chinese Coast Guard employed water cannons against two wooden boats, they returned, laden with supplies for Filipino troops heading towards the Second Thomas Shoal in the South China Sea. Al Jazeera, among other selected media outlets, accompanied the Philippine Coast Guard vessel escorting the Navy-chartered supply boats. Prior to departure, we were cautioned that the Chinese would likely obstruct our mission. We consistently faced perilous maneuvers and surveillance. At a particular instance, one of the vessels belonging to the Chinese Coast Guard intentionally approached us in close proximity, causing concern that its front end might collide with our ship's hull. Although the supply ships managed to navigate past us, we found ourselves enclosed within a constrained space. However, this circumstance does not imply consent for the entry of the supply vessels initially. Our request for permission is unnecessary. The location of the second Thomas Shoal lies approximately 140 nautical miles, equivalent to about 200 kilometers, from our departure port in Palawan, the westernmost province of the Philippines. Despite this, China asserts ownership over nearly the entire South China Sea. While Beijing expresses commitment to peaceful discussions, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. emphasized during the recently concluded ASEAN summit in Jakarta that actions carry more weight than mere words. He stressed the importance of actions in determining our dedication to ensuring peace and stability in the South China Sea. In alignment with foreign allies, Marcos advocates for freedom of navigation, with the presence of a U.S. Navy aircraft monitoring the situation above as Philippine and Chinese forces engaged in a standoff. Negotiations for potential joint patrols are ongoing amidst these tensions. Reporting from the South China Sea. The dilemma lies in choosing between losing its physical position or attempting to rebuild and reinforce the ship, an action that could elicit potentially strong reactions from China. In response to the escalating tensions, China asserts that both sides have reached an agreement to convene a meeting soon under their bilateral consultation mechanism. This collaborative effort signals a joint commitment to avert further escalation and find common ground. The Sierra Madre, with its precarious position, becomes a symbol of the delicate balance between historical preservation and the pressing need to navigate contemporary geopolitical challenges. Thank you for joining us on this exploration, and until next time, may the pursuit of global peace guide our understanding of this intricate geopolitical puzzle.